What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Team Fish Knuckles YouTube channel. Today is the Memphis City's top 8. In our left, we have Justin, Aaron, AA Ron, whatever you want to call him. We saw him playing the Magnezone Raikou Pikachu deck in round 3 versus Zach Holtzman playing Vespa Queen. So he has advanced all the way to top 8. And we have Scott Modern, who we saw round 1 playing the Manectric Regice Articuno deck. I'm trying to remember what all he plays. But here we go. And we see Justin starts with the Remoraid and Scott starts with a Manectric EX. Now, Justin does have that Pikachu EX in his hand. And is Pikachu enough to one-shot Manectric EXs? Or will Justin decide to go for Raikou? It's a very interesting decision he'll have to go for. Now, we see a love ball from Justin. Looks like he's eyeballing that Magnemite. It's always what you want to get turn 1. Trying to get your Magnemites as quickly as you can out. We see an Ultra Ball in Justin's hand. Now, the thing about Justin's hand, he doesn't have a supporter card, so he can Ultra Ball, discard the Pikachu and the Magnezone, and what he could do here is grab a Shaman, and then use the Super Rod to basically draw this, to draw cards. Now, I don't know if Justin wants to play the Super Rod right now, or does he want to save it, because if he uses it right now, he could draw one more card, but if he does do that, he can have the possibility to draw into those Pokemon. But here we're gonna see a Shaman just drawn up to 6, and we see double Level Ball and a Jirachi. So we see a Level Ball number 1, and he might hold on to that second Level Ball just so next turn he can get an Octillery, which I think might be a good play. But let's see what Justin can do. What I'll do is bench that Jirachi, retreat the Remoraid to the Jirachi, and just send it up and let it tank for a turn, and then next turn get out the Octillery. I think that's the best route because we still don't see a supporter card in Justin's hand. And let's see if Justin decides to do that. He does have, okay, we'll see retreat. We're retreating to a Magnemite. I mean, Magnemite is not any threat of being knocked out either. I just don't want the Assault Laser damage to be spread around from Magnemite to Magnemite, because that's what Scott's probably going to do. He's going to probably put 20 damage on the active Magnemite and 20 damage on the other Magnemite. But the Magnemite does have free retreat because of its ability. Now we see a Battle Compressor from Scott discarding a Hex, a Sycamore, and a Lightning Energy. Alrighty. And let's see what else he'll get. Shuffling up really good. Still giving a good shuffle. They were going to give it a bridge shuffle, okay. Alright, and let's see what Scott decides to do. We see a Verse Seeker in his hand. We see a Hoopa! Gonna search for probably a Manectric, and a Shaman? Or maybe, probably not a Mega Manectric. He can't evolve on the first turn, so I wouldn't grab a Mega Manectric. So a Shaman and a Manectric, so he must have another Manectric prize. Or he wants to save his bench spot, probably for like a Regice and or an Articuno. Just so you have some non-EX attackers against this all non-EX deck. Well, I mean, Justin does play Pikachu EX, but I doubt he'll attack with it. We see a Manectric come down. Looks like we're just going to see Shaman draw some cards. And, debating. Does he play? Unless he's that Verse Seeker. I'm not sure what else is in his hand, if he can even play down anything. We're going to see Shaman just drawing one card, but he did get a Lightning Energy, so he can't overrun and put 20 on both Pokemon. We're going to see a Verse Seeker per Hex Maniac, and this makes it where Justin, if he does get, like we see an Ultra Ball in his hand, which he can't use to get Shaman because he can't draw cards, he could Level Ball for an Octillery, and we see Scott throw out the Hex Maniac saying, "Nah, you're not using any abilities this turn," which is pretty funny. But we're going to see Justin use Level Ball. He could get an Octillery. He can't use it this turn, but he can use it for next turn. We're going to see an Ultra Ball discarding a Jirachi and a Lightning Energy, getting out the Raikou. Now, Justin can retreat the Magnemite into Raikou, and I think it has 110 on 130 HP. I should know this stuff. Well, I shouldn't really know this stuff. I haven't played Raikou in real life. I've only played it on PTC Geo. So let's see if I can look up Raikou just real quick and see how much HP it has. So we're going to see an Ultra Ball. Oh, no, he's looking at the discard policy. He's all played. Alright. And will we see a retreat? Nope. Okay, we see just a pass from Justin. I'm going to put a Lightning on the Raikou pass, and on to Scott's turn. We'll see a Muscle Band going down to the Manectric player, which will make the overruns do 40 and then 20 to the bench, so he can knock out one Magnemite and put pressure on the other one to knock it out the following turn if Justin does not evolve the bench one. We're going to see a Verse Seeker. It looks like he's going to grab another Hex Maniac and basically just shutting down Justin because he can't use Octillery, which is really, really crucial. Oh, Raikou has 120. I was off. I thought it was 110 on 130. Now, this makes it, well, now it doesn't matter, because I was going to say, it makes it where a Turbo doesn't knock out the Raikou, but we see that Scott does have the Muscle Band, so I doubt he's going to evolve, or not evolve. um, what is it? Yeah, he's not going to Mega Evolve because of the end his turn. And now Justin's in a weird spot. We're going to see a Super Rod get back a Shaman, a Pikachu. No, was that a Shaman? It was like a Pikachu, a Magnemite, and maybe a Lightning Energy. I'm not sure. Or Jirachi. I'm not sure what that third card was off the top of my head. But Justin's going to be in a weird situation because Scott's going to overrun and knock out the Magnemite on the bench, which is obviously not good. Like, you don't want that to happen, and that's what's going to happen here. Looks like we see another Shaman from Scott going to draw up some cards. He does have a Water Energy. He could put that on the bench. I'm not sure where that goes, actually. I've seen Ultra Ball discounting a Rough Seas and a Turbo Bolt. Let's see what he decides to get here. If he can get, like, another, like, a Manectric EX powered up on the bench, we've seen Articuno come down, which it could take 2 prize cards. But what I was saying, if Scott can, like, manually power up that bench, the bench Manectric EX evolve into a Mega Manectric, that'd be pretty cool, while still using Overrun over and over again. Because if he decides to Mega Evolve the active, that's a turn of not attacking, which is not good at all. And let's see what Scott does here. Oh, just an Overrun, knocking out the Magnemite, and put 20 damage on that Raikou. Raikou does have that ability, but it only prevents 20, and Scott did 40, so there we go. We see a Lysander bringing up Shaman. We're going to see Octillery drawing some cards, so Justin can finally use his Octillery. We see a Trainer's Milk and look at top 4, and let's see what he grabs. Looks like he decides to grab anything. Now, Justin's going to be in a weird spot. If Scott can Lysander that Magnemite, attach a Water Energy to that to the Manectric, he can knock out another Magnemite. We see a Lightning Energy, and we see Justin come back into this game. Now it's 4-4 in prizes. He takes a knockout on the Shaman EX. And on to Scott's turn. Let's see what Scott decides to do. Like I said, if he does have a Lysander, he could bring up that Magnemite, because we know he does have that Water Energy in his hand. We see the Water Energy. Will we see attach or not? And yes. Okay. So energy there. And let's see, does he have the Lysander? Like I said, I'd definitely go for that Magnemite if I had the Lysander in my hand. Now, what Scott's going to have to worry about next turn is we see that Justin does have another First Seeker in his hand, which could give him another Lysander to knock out another Shaman and take 4 prizes just off this manly powered Raikou. We're going to see Assault Laser knockout, take another prize card, and we're going to see another Rimbraid come down, a Lightning Energy, First Seeker, bring up that Shaman, and Octillery, draw some cards. Scott just automatically just threw it in the discard pile. It's like, oh, it's getting knocked out. Alright, so we see Trainer's Mail getting the First Seeker, but all Justin has in the discard pile is just Lysander. He's literally played no other supporter besides Lysander that I recall. Maybe he has, but I doubt it. Like, I don't think he has. I really don't think he has. Alright, but we'll see. If Justin can get down another Octillery next turn, he could be good to go. But we see a knockout on Shaman. Justin will go down to 2 prize cards. And alright, on to Scott's turn. We see him send up the other Manectric without... Okay, I'm kind of confused why he did that, but maybe we'll find out. Maybe Scott has like a Link, Mega Manectric, Turbo Bolt, Energy, Sycamore. Maybe that could be his cards in his hand. If he has that, Justin's going to be in trouble, like for sure. But let's see what happens. We'll find out together today in Pokemon Land. Alright, and let's see. We see an Articuno come down, an Escape Rope. Ooh, tricky. Yeah, looks like he's going to send up this Rimbraid, going to give it up. Oh, that's a nice play by Scott. Basically saying, you know, whoever you send up is going to get knocked out. We're going to see a Manectric and a Sycamore discarding his hand, draws 7 cards. And I want to see a Manectric EX on the bench start powering up. He could use Articuno to like take the last 2 prize cards on an Octillery. But we see that the Lightning Energy goes to the Manectric EX. And oh man, Scott's going to go down 1 prize card. And all he has to do next turn is Lysander the Shaman, and he wins the game. Oh, buddy, what's going to happen here? We'll find out together. Justin's going to send this Raikou. Right now it's doing 130. There's another Raikou coming down. And Justin's in a weird spot. If Scott gets out Lysander to bring up the Shaman, he wins the game. There's 150. First Seeker for the Lysander. Bringing up the Articuno. And we're going to see the Articuno go down, and Justin's going to go 1 prize card. And let's see, Scott does have that Verse Seeker in his hand. Going to grab that Lysander, bring it up to Shaman, and we're going to see Assault Laser for knockout. And there is game 1. Alright, so Scott wins game 1. Basically, Justin didn't play any supporter cards besides Lysander, so that's never good. But Scott had those pretty good turn 1s where he used back-to-back Hex Maniacs when Justin had the Octillery out. So Justin didn't play anything wrong. It's just that Scott had those Hex Maniacs just over and over again, basically shutting him down, which is pretty crazy. Like, You never thought you would see Hex Maniac do that. Usually we see Hex Maniac be played as to like shut off Shamans for a turn, or maybe like to shut off Blast Waves for a turn. But to shut down like Octillery over and over again, that's really interesting, and that's what we saw today. But we're gonna see round two. In top 8, I think no matter what, in top cut, it is best 2 out of 3. Don't quote me on that. I am 99% sure though. But that 1% is saying that maybe there's some areas that aren't top 8 or top best 2 out of 3. But I hope they are in top cut. But we'll see both players set up here. Scott's gonna put down 2 Pokemon, and let's see what Justin has. Justin, hopefully he has a better supporter. Like, at least have some kind of supporter. Okay. All right. Well, he has a Fisherman. That's not what he wants. He starts with the Raikou. He has a Magnemite and a Remoraid and a Lava Ball. We see another Raikou. We see a Magnemite. We see a Remoraid, a Lightning Energy, and just a pass. Now, he does have the Lava Ball in his hand, but he's going to save it for an Octillery next turn, obviously. We see an Ultra Ball discarded Regice and a Mega Manectric from Scott. And let's see what Scott gets here. Maybe a Hoopa. A Hoopa would be really clutch right now. Just get out Shaman, a Manectric, and something else. But we see that maybe Scott's pulling up those EXs automatically. We see a Shaman go to the top of the deck. Maybe he doesn't have Hoopa. Maybe his Hoopa is prize. And yep, it looks like Hoopa is prize. We're just going to see a single Shaman come out to play. Hopefully this setup is good for Scott. But I mean, Justin right now, he doesn't have a supporter card, but next turn he can get that Auxiliary if they're not prized. That's another key thing to note. We see a Shaman draw some cards. Scott has an Ultra Ball. He can get discard some Lightning Energies maybe. We did see Scott use Mega Manectric at all last game. And what's happening? Okay. So the overrun 22 active and 22 the bench Raikou. I see Lava Ball getting out the Octillery. Man, Justin would have been in a bad situation if both Octilleries are prized. Well, I don't know how many he's playing, but we saw 2 Remoraid's come down last turn, so that means he probably plays 2 Octillery, like a 2-2 line, which is, I don't know, it's okay. A 2-2 line is not too crazy. Let's see what Justin does. We're gonna see a retreat into the other Manectric. We're going to see an Energy will attach to Lightning, and we're going to see Octillery draw some cards. Now, Justin does have that Judge, but we're going to see an Ultra Ball discard a Lightning, and a Fisherman probably get out, okay, a Magnemite. Okay. So, maybe contemplating Shaman, but he does need to get those Magnemites out. And we're going to see a Judge put in both players at 4 cards. Now, I don't think Scott played a supporter card last turn. All I think we saw was an Ultra Ball get out Shaman, and pretty much that was it, if I remember correctly. So Scott can't really Verse Seeker for any supporter card, while Justin can just Verse Seeker for a Judge and or a Fisherman. Alright, so we can see both players get 4. And we see that Justin does have a Magnezone in his hand. He also has a Rare Candy as well. I think it's Rare Candy. So yeah, Rare Candy Magnezone. So you got the turn 2 Rare Candy Magnezone. And next turn, Justin has an Ultra Ball and a Lava Ball ready to go. Now, Justin's probably contemplating, do I get out another Remoraid or not? And I might actually do this. I might Lava Ball, getting out another Remoraid, and then next turn, using an Ultra Ball, get a second Remoraid, like having a 2-2 out there if both are in the deck. Now, the question is the other Auxiliary and the Remoraid in the deck or not? I don't know. I didn't see his deck. We're going to see Scott getting another Articuno out, and oh man, it's going to be scary for Justin because of those, the Delta Plus. If Scott can get those Articunos powered up and flip some crazy heads, he can take 2 prizes on these non-EX Pokemon, which is great for Scott, obviously. And also, Scott was judged down to 5, and he hit like a Sycamore, which, you know, it sounds crazy, but it's you know, it's okay. Scott didn't really play any supporter cards. And we see a Battle Compressor. He discards a Lysander, something else, and a Headringer. I'm not sure what one of those cards were. They were off the screen, but definitely discarding the Headringers is a good idea because, I mean, Justin might play like a Shaman and or Pikachu down, but it's not really that big of a deal for Scott or for Justin because he's going to be, you know, I think Pikachu needs a 2 energy attack. And he's going to need like 3 to 4 to take a knockout on an EX Pokemon. So, it doesn't really matter. We see a Musbait go down to the Manectric, and we're going to see an overrun 40 and 20 to the bench. Yeah, 20, 20. There we go. And we see that Justin has a Verse Seeker and Ultra Ball. So, he could Ultra Ball for Shaman. Or maybe Ultra Ball for a Pikachu EX. Let's see what he decides to go for. Another Raikou. And I saw a Remoraid in Justin's hand. are in his deck. I'm not sure if the Octillery is in there, and if it was, I think definitely doing what the play I said is a really good play. You know, getting down a 2-2, like a 2 Octillery down, and being able to Abyssal Hand over and over again is really, really great. And we're going to see an Abyssal Hand up to 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and Justin has double lightning energies. We see a Trainer's Mail. And look, he had both Rim Raid and Octillery is what he just drew into, which is, man, like if Justin can use Abyssal Hand one more time this turn, he'd be in a really good spot. But we're going to see him grab the Ultra Ball with the Trainer's Mail. And I wonder what he's going to use the Ultra Ball for. Like, he already has everything out. I don't think Justin plays Magnezone. Now, he might. I don't know his list. But he might play Magnezone, but I don't think he does. We see the Octillery turn sideways, so that way we know he's already Abyssal Hand. We're going to see double lightning energy, and we're going to see, I think it's called Thunder Spark for 110. I'm not sure the exact tag name, but it does 50 plus 20 for each lightning energy. We're going to see a Birch from Scott. All right, Scott, do you believe in the Birch? We'll find out together if Scott believes in the Birch. Come on, Birch. Don't let us down. And no, Birch only gets us 4. Oh, no, Birch. All right, well, that does happen sometimes. Alright, let's see what Scott decides to do here. He could overrun again, which I don't know how great that is. Then the Manectric gets knocked out. We're going to see a Lightning going on to Manectric EX. And will we see an overrun or not? I might retreat into the other Manectric, just saying like, yo, you're going to need a Light Center to knock us out. But it looks like we're not going to see that. We're going to see another overrun, bringing the active up to 60 and the bench Raikou up to 20. Okay, no, both Raikus are at 20, which is great because that means a Turbo Bolt would knock out both of those Raikus. Alright, we've seen Ultra Ball discarding a Magnezone and a Flash Energy. With Flash Energy pretty much useless in its matchup, Scott doesn't play any cards that hit for weakness against Justin's deck, so not really needed. Alright, we're going to see Abyssal Hand drawn up to 5. Justin gets another Lightning Energy, so you can start pounding up another Raikou. We see 1, 2, and then we're going to see... Is that a Birch? Oh, please let that be a Birch. I mean, I don't think there's any other supporter card that lets you shuffle your hand into your deck and draw cards besides Shauna, and I know Justin does not play Shauna. And there we go, Birch getting that 7 cards. Alright, and we see Justin turns the Octillery sideways, saying, like, I've already played this card. Alright, we're going to see another Lightning Gun on Raikou. And we're going to see a knockout on this Manectric EX. Makes things scary. Okay, so Justin's gonna take 2 prize cards, going down to 4. On to Scott's turn. He gets a letter. He could get a lightning and or a water. He's gonna get both actually. Okay. And if he has a Mega Manectric, he can basically, you know, Mega Manectric and then use Turbo Bolt to power up some bench Articunos, which might be a really good idea. But we'll see what he does. He does have a Hex Maniac in his discard pile. We see First Seeker just playing Sycamore. Not grabbing that Hex. That must be the other card he discarded with a, what was it? With the Battle Compressor. And it doesn't seem like Scott hit a Mega Manectric. I imagine if he had the Mega Manectric, he would have just like slammed it down automatically. Like, yes, here's my Mega Manectric. But I don't think he got it because he didn't slam it down fairly quickly. Let's see what Scott decides. Unless Scott's slow rolling us, and maybe he does have it. And he's like, I'm just going to wait a second before I put it down. Let's see what happens. Scott's doing some math with his fingers. I could tell because he was moving his fingers around. Like, what am I going to do this turn? But we might have seen Assault Laser. I don't think it knocks out the... Okay, just an overrun. And it does nothing to the active because he hasn't Muscle Band anymore. We'll see another Magnezone come down. We're going to see an Energy Retrieval. Just getting 1 energy, so that's 130. A Lava Ball, probably grabbing nothing. Jirachi. Let's see. Justin's debating and doesn't grab anything. I'm not sure why he didn't grab the Jirachi. If he's going to play like a Sycamore to discard his hand and draw cards, I would definitely have grabbed the Jirachi. We're going to see a Sycamore discarding his hand, draw 7. We see a Flash Energy and a Lightning Energy, so it's going to do 130, 150, 170, so this will knock out this Manectric EX, and Scott will go down to 2 prize cards. Scott picks up the Magnezone, probably thinking like, you can't use that for Flash Energy, but you can attach at least 1 Flash Energy per turn. That is your energy attachment. So that's one thing you have to look into. Now, oh, there's a Mega Manectric. Oh no, Scott. Oh no. Alright, we're gonna see probably a chilling sigh from Scott. Gonna put that Raikou to sleep and basically saying, alright, Justin, you're gonna have to flip to wake up. But I mean, Scott should probably just scoop this game. Like right now it's 2-6. I can't really see Scott making a comeback, but I have seen crazier things before, so don't want to doubt Scott. And we're going to see a chilling side, puts Reiku automatically asleep, and let's see if it wakes up or not, and it does wake up. Alright, so we're going to see this Reiku knock out this Articuno. We're going to see another Reiku get powered up. Right now does 150 base. We're going to see Lysander bringing up that Shaman. Oh, Justin was just playing with us. He had the Lysander for Shaman the whole time. Alright, so on to game 3. Alright, so what's going to need to happen here? Scott's going to have to do like a crazy turn 1 and turn 2 and maybe turn 3 where he Hex Maniacs over and over again, basically making it where Justin can't use Abyssal Hand, he can't use Shaman, he can't use Magnezone's ability, which I can't remember off the top of my head what it is right now. We'll just call Magnezone's ability Dynamotor. I don't know. Maybe, I know it's not Dynamotor. What is it in the comments? Don't worry, we'll look it up right now. But if Scott can basically kill or knock out all of Justin's Magnemites before they evolve, then Justin can't really attack. Like, he doesn't have his Magnezones out. But let's see here. It's called Magnetic Circuit. Yes, Magnetic Circuit. Okay, there we go. And it has the attack Thunder Blast for 100, and you discard a Lightning Energy. But we'll see a Scott Mulligan turn 1. And, I mean, if Scott did surprise his Hoopa, like, that was really bad also last game for Scott, is he prized his Hoopa, making it where he could have searched for 3 EX Pokemon. So Scott will have to hopefully hopefully that Hoopa is not prized turn 1. Or maybe it was a prize and Scott just like, oh, I don't want to grab Hoopa, but hopefully he does grab the Hoopa. Alright, and let's see what happens. Shuffling up. Justin does get 1 mulligan draw, unless he mulligans right here as well. But nope, there's a Drachi, there's Reiku, and a Teammates. Okay, we haven't seen the Teammates come out and play. But both players get 6 prize cards, and it looks like Justin took his mulligan. Alright, so let's see what happens this turn. We see Scott has a Lightning Energy. If he gets a, oh man, if he gets a Spirit Link, we see he discards a Mega Manectric, a DCE, Mega Turbo, and something else. I was going to say, maybe if he has a Link Manectric and then an Energy for next turn, he'll be really good to go. We see an Ultra Ball discarding Regice and a Water Energy. Probably looking for that Hoopa that he prized last game. Let's see, Scott's looking through his deck. Let's see, does he get the Hoopa? I think that's a Hoopa right there. Alright, so Hoopa is going to get him a Manectric, probably a Shaman. Yep, there's a Hoopa and 2 Manectrics. It's weird that he didn't get Shaman unless Shaman's already in his hand. Or maybe he already prized his Shaman. Or maybe he doesn't put Shaman down because that's 2 easy prizes for Justin. There's a lot of theoretical things that can go on right now. Why not grabbing the Shaman? There's a Super Rod getting back in. Why is he? I don't know if I would play the Super Rod this early. I mean, he does get the Mega Manectric back into his deck. Maybe he realized, like, hey, I have like 2 Mega Manectrics prized. I need to Super Rod this other one back in there, so that way I can use Turbo Bolt. And we haven't seen Scott Turbo Bolt at all in any of these games, which is kind of weird when you're playing a Mega Manectric deck. You usually want to see Turbo Bolts, like that's your main attacker. But we see a Lightning Energy go into Manectric. We see a Drachi come down. We see a Shaman from Justin drawing 1 card, and that's a Lightning Energy, which does not help at all. And we're going to see a pass from Justin, and on to Scott's turn, we see a Lightning Energy going into the active. We're going to see Shaman drawn up to 6. He does have a Lysander. He could Lysander the Shaman and take 2 prize cards right now, which might be good. It looks like, yep, we're going to Lysander the Shaman, take a knockout on it, and take 2 prize cards, going down to 4. And wow, Justin has a really bad hand. Just a Lightning Energy, and probably, okay, Teammates. Oh, okay, so Teammates can let him search for 2, any 2 cards. Probably like, does he get double Magnemite or not? That's a weird situation, because he could grab Magnemite and a supporter card for next turn. But if he he could go for Magnemite and Octillery, making it where next turn he has the Octillery to Abyssal Hand. I think what Justin decides to do here. He could go for a Magnemite and a supporter card, making it where next turn he has a supporter card. But then, okay, looks like he went for a Magnemite and a supporter card, which I think is an okay play. Like, you don't want to not grab a supporter card and be supporterless still for the rest of the game. But like I said, he could have went for the Rim Raid as well, because he has a Octillery in his hand. I don't know, that's a weird situation. But he did grab a Magnemite and a Sycamore. And we're just going to pass. And let's see if Scott has a Lysander to bring up that Magnemite. Looks like we'll see a Link going into the active. A Water Energy going to Articuno. Burst Seeker bringing up that Magnemite. And we're going to see a Assault Laser knocking out that Magnemite. We're going to see a Trainer's Mail from Justin. He'll probably grab that Lava Ball, so that way he can get out a Magnemite. Okay, an Ultra Ball. Okay, we can see Ultra Ball discard Octillery. and an energy retrieval. Maybe he did this because he has a super rod in his hand. I'm not sure what's in his hand at all. But it looks like he's eyeballing that Magnemite, of course. That's obviously a good target because you need the Magnezone. And let's see if Justin get an energy this turn to start using Reiku's attack, which will do 110, and the next turn can knock out the Manectric X. But here we see Super Rod getting back to Manectric and Octillery, so that's why Justin decided to get the Ultra Ball instead of the Lava Ball. Like, usually when you see that, you're like, I need the Lava Ball to grab Pokemon, but here we see a Verse Seeker. Oh, Verse Seeker for teammates, grabbing 2 cards. Okay, I was really confused. Like, he Verse Seekered and just started looking through his deck, and I was like, what's going on here? That's definitely not allowed. But let's see what the Verse Seeker gets Justin. Maybe we'll be able to see. He'll probably, like, try to shuffle his hand real quick. Oh, another Magnemite and Lightning Energy. So he teammates for a Magnemite and Lightning Energy. And we're going to see Raikou do 110 damage. And on to Scott's turn. And there's a Mega Manectric. There we go. We haven't seen this guy at all. So first Mega Manectric coming out. Basically out of these 3 games. So let's see what Scott does here. Does he have a Rough Seas? That could from Justin. We see a DC going on to Articuno. Another Spirit Link going down. And looks like we're just going to see a Turbo Ball for 110. Maybe Justin's getting ready like he is going to do it. We're going to see a Judge putting both players at 4 cards. Alrighty, now let's see here. So that Mega Manectric is at 110. If Scott attacks with this Manectric, Justin will attack and knock out the Mega Manectric. But the next turn, Scott can bring up that Articuno and knock out that Raikou with the Articuno. Like, it does base 40. Well, let's see here. The Manectric will do 90. And then 110. Oh, that's not a knockout, actually. Scott will have to flip at least 1 heads. And yes, so 90. And does Scott have no energies in his discard pile? Oh man. And we're gonna see Justin attach a Lightning Energy to the bench of Manectric and use his own Judge, and he's actually using the old school Judge, the Unleashed Judge, I think that's where it's from, because Judge is a reprint. If you didn't know that, you do know now. You know it now. All right, so both players get 4 cards. Justin really needs that Remoraid. He hasn't gotten that Remoraid at all. But Justin has the opportunity next turn to take 2 prize cards, or this turn take 2 prize cards. Now we see Justin using a Shaman, drawn up to 6, and gets the Magnezone finally out in play. And we're going to see Magnezone start using Magnetic Circuit. He's going to take a knockout on this Mega Manectric. Now onto Scott's turn. We're going to see the Mega Manectric get promoted. And does Scott have an energy to attack with this bench Articuno to take 2 prize cards? We're going to see a Mega Turbo going on to the active Manectric. We see a Battle Compressor going to discard probably some energies because Scott doesn't have any in the discard pile. We see he discards a Birch. And if he doesn't want to discard energies, he could discard a Hex. Okay, there's a Hex Maniac and something else. I think I like that. I think I like the Hex Maniac play a lot, actually. And let's see what happens. Now, Scott's only at 3 prize cards, so if Scott can get an energy, we're going to see Articuno come up, and let's see, is he going to go for an energy? No, just a Chilling Sigh, and let's see, does it wake up or not? And no, Raikou stays asleep. Oh my goodness. Chilling Sigh putting in some work. Oh, buddy. All right, see a Lightning going to Raikou. We see a Sycamore, and does Justin play any switching cards? That's the big question here. I don't think he does, but both Raikous are able to attack at any moment now. We see a Love Ball from Justin, getting out an Octillery, which, I mean, it doesn't really matter. We're going to see an Ultra Ball, or maybe not. Okay, we're not going to see an Ultra Ball from Justin. Okay. And let's see, what would Justin get? We see a Trainer's Mail for 4, and now he could grab a Lysander just to have it in his hand. Yep, so Lysander going to his hand. Now, if Scott can get this Lightning Energy and knock out this Articuno, or this Raikou, he'll be in really good shape. But we're going to see a pass from Justin, and the Raikou does wake up on Scott's turn. He gets a Head Ringer on that Shaman. Doesn't really matter. It just makes it where Sky Return needs 3 energies instead of 2. And we just see a Chilling Sigh from Scott, and let's see, oh, the Raikou does wake up. Oh no. We're going to see Rare Candy into Magnezone. Now, Justin does have his Lysander to bring up a Shaman if he wants to, and go down to 2 prize cards, I think is what it is. But let's see if Justin decides to do that or not. It only does 110 right now. That's not a knockout. Articuno has, like, I know it has more than 110, I can tell you that much. And let's see if Justin decides to knock out this Articuno or not. Retreat to the other Raikou. Okay. And I actually like that play a lot. It makes it where Scott can't knock out the active Raikou, basically. But we're gonna see a Verse Seeker for a Fisherman. Okay, and that will knock out this Articuno for sure. Alright. So we're gonna see a knockout on this Articuno. Justin will go down to 2 prize cards or 3 prize cards. And let's see what Scott does here. He gets another Articuno, Escape Rope. Very tricky. Very tricky from Scott. We're gonna see Escape Rope, bring up the bench Raikou. Scott's gonna send up the Manectric, or the Articuno, and Sycamore. Alright, just Scott get an energy to attack this turn. And I think he's looking for a Mega Turbo. Okay, we see him counting his discard power. That was a really cool Escape Rope play by, why would Justin actually send up the Raikou? Like, I might have sent up the Magnezone from getting knocked out. But we're going to see a water going to the Manectric EX. I'm not sure if he attached it or Mega Turboed. I'm pretty sure he just attached it. And we're going to see a Mega Turbo knock out the active. And Scott's going to go down 2 prize cards. Alright, and all Scott has to do next turn is License of the Shaman to win the game. I'm still kind of surprised why... Like, even if Scott had the opportunity to knock out Magnezone, unless Justin doesn't have any more switching cards, and maybe that's why he decided not to promote the Magnezone. I'm not sure. Alright, but both players looking at discard piles, trying to decide what to do. I'm not even sure what Justin's doing right now. He just has his deck in his hand. Looks like we've seen Ultra Ball get out a Pikachu EX. Now, if Justin get enough energies on this Pikachu EX to knock out a Mega Manectric, that'd be really exciting. It needs 5 energies, though. I think it does 50 times as many lightning energies you discard. And if Justin has a Fisherman in his hand and an energy, he could pull it off this turn. But he does not have that right now. And let's see what Justin decides to do. He's trying to think, what do I do this turn? He could license up Shaman, take a knockout on it. Let's see what he decides to do. I mean, I might license up that Shaman going down to 1 prize card, or maybe bring up the Articuno. I definitely just bring up the Shaman, take a knockout on it, and then next turn try to power up the Raikou to win the game. But regardless, if Scott has a license next turn, he's going to win this game. Unless like Justin licenses up something. But here we see Sycamore. Kind of curious. Maybe he just wants to knock out this Mega Manectric. He needs so many energies, and he whiffs. Okay. Let's see what happens. Justin's just gonna attack with his Raikou into this Manectric EX. Okay. There's an Ultra Ball, discarding a Rare Candy. And what was that? A Magnezone. Okay. And gets nothing. Alrighty. Man, if I want to see actually Justin knock out this Mega Manectric, and then Scott use Articuno and Chilling Side Jirachi for the prize or for the knockout. That'd be amazing. What's Justin doing? Maybe did he use a Professor to get 2 more lightning energies? Okay. So right now it does 130, 150. It'll do 170 right now, which is still not a knockout, and he needs 3 more energies to knock out with Pikachu EX. Okay, so let's see what Justin does here. He could power up the... Okay, we're going to see 2 lightnings going to Pikachu. Justin's counting all of his chickens. Make sure he has everything ready to go for next turn. Deciding where do these lightning energies go. Did they go to the Pikachu? Okay, they're on the Pikachu EX. And we're just going to see Raikou hit for 130. And we're going to see a Verse Seeker bring up that Shaman EX and take a knockout. So there we go. Scott winning the top 8, the Mega Manectric versus the Raikou deck. And Scott just basically, shut down all the Magnetone. Well, I don't know. That game, Scott just kind of just ran with it, ran away, and won the game. But there we go. Scott winning in best 2 out of 3, winning game 1 and 3. I don't know. It was okay game. It was okay. I'm not sure. If Justin would have got those Octilleries out turn 1, maybe it would have made a difference. I'm not sure. It's just hard for the Raikou deck to knock out the Manectric deck because they have so much HP. And if Scott, we didn't really see Scott chain Mega Manectrics. He didn't really chain him at all. He just had that 1 Mega Manectric, and that was it. Scott was even dead drawing, and Justin could take away a game. But there we go. This is top 8 of the Memphis cities. In the next video, we will see top 4 of the Memphis cities, and we'll have to see what happens in the next game. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Alrighty, bye.